All right, the well is in, sort of. It's windy today. The size of that rig. It's the White River Pump Company. That's Nick, one of the owners. Yeah, nice guys. The owner, he worked with his father on this company. His father was the previous owner, and he still comes out. Actually, really nice guy too. They are reputed to be the best will drillers in this area. There's a couple others. I've not dealt with them. I don't know. I'm just telling you what people have told me. Now, it looks like a bit of a mess. But you know, when you're going through the ground, you're pulling up all kinds of stuff like that. So it went through a layer of shale, so you get this gray, material. You can see the initial rocks that came out, the mud and dirt and everything like that, and then it went through a layer of shale, so it pulled up some stuff. But yeah, we are getting roughly. They said it went off their meter. Basically, they wrote it down as 50 plus gallons per minute, but they estimate it's closer to 70. It was so much that it was pushing their tool up. Yeah, 4x4 posts easy come by. All right, so there it is. There's the well. You can see all the water on the ground. I don't know. Might try to spread this a little bit. Need to wait for it to dry. It's probably going to harden like a rock. But yeah, that's it. That's the well. That's the start. They will come back next week, and they will put in the pump house and all that. Considering putting in a constant flow pump, which basically eliminates the need for a pressure tank apparently, and it will pump to the other house, which is uphill, and still maintain the pressure. So that's a interesting notion. So we've got the pad, we've got the pump. We're getting ready to order framing materials and side, OSB and all that stuff. And yeah, we're hitting it. And just so you can see, you probably can't tell, but the forest is starting to get a nice green hue to it. Things are starting to bud. Not everything, but we are starting to get some buds. Up there you can see I went up there and smelled the flower stink, which is the invasive pear tree, which I can never remember the name of it, but that's a shame. I have to cut those out at some point. And it turns out that there's actually quite a bit of hickory in the woods. It's hard to tell a tree species when it's dormant. Oop, stepped in a hole. I'm not sure what this is here yet. That's not a thorn, actually. This, I'm worried might be, those don't actually look like they're bad. I'm pretty sure a couple trees on the property are the tree of heaven. I wonder what that little guy is. I shudder to think sometimes. Let's see here. What else? So the other day I'm out here cleaning, and this big mess over here that you see has been pretty well. Yeah, we have spring beauties all over this field, actually. It's really cool. It's a huge section of it over there. So, pretty much removed the rose bush out of here that pretty much came into this area here and went all the way back and was climbing up through the trees. So I cut as much of it out as I could. You can see the there's dying or dead Japanese honeysuckle up in the trees, which is real nice. And if you look around, you can actually see the that there are terminated vines here and there, back in here and all that. So that's all over the place. Pretty much not 100% killed and treated, but a lot of it, And when that kind of popped out, I noticed this. We have red bud coming right up where in this whole big mess. So it's a little misshapen, but sure is a beautiful sight to see in the springtime. And as you can see, hey, look at that that's a Carner blue butterfly, I believe. Might not be. It's supposed to be one that looks close to it. It's fake. But yeah, you can see the hickory coming up. Actually, it's a bit twisted, but it's still a welcome tree in my opinion. Unfortunately, the vines really crushed down on these things. Yeah, and you can see the sumac. And of course, geez, I can't remember what the heck this stuff is. Yeah, it's going to come along. It's going to be really beautiful through this corridor. I've been cleaning up random stuff, trying to get rid of vines through everything. So now you can see the rocks really nicely through here. Like to get rid of this is all sawtooth briar, but I've been cutting it back, and I'm trying to work on cutting this tree back and just basically fixing it, getting it back to being more of a productive system instead of being clogged with things like that is rose bush that's underneath dirt, and so it just kind of sprouts up everywhere. And you can obviously see that this tree right here is an ironwood or a muscle tree. There's a lot of different names for it, but there are a lot of them in my forest. More vines, but not terrible in this area. So I'm kind of hoping to do some cleanup along here. Obviously, that's a huge rose bush right here. That thing, they're just nasty. This species is known as the gotcha. Look at the thorns on that thing. And again, I've read, of course, who knows anymore, but the ones with the curved thorns are supposed to be the invasive species. Kind of want to keep the native ones, but they're actually I find them very rare to find. So once I get that done, I don't plan on working on the other side of the stream this year. You can see it's a huge mess. It's going to stay a huge mess over there. It'll probably be nice for the fish and everything else like that. Yeah, this is, it's settling. This is what Jonathan did the other day. Look at all those little blue butterflies. Can you see them? They're awesome. I think they're Carners, but I'm not sure. They're really enjoying the muddy water, or the mud next to the water. But I'll work on this side of the bank this year. I might even get these roses if I can. Might take the excavator, to be honest with you. But if I can clean this up and save some of these things and start cleaning up the briar and everything out of these trees, almost making it all the way to the barn. And it'd be nice to think of like one side of the field being done. So, and it's not that bad. I mean, there's some areas where it looks worse than it is. Actually, this will come out you know, a day here, a day there. Of course, I'll be working on the house, and there'll come a point when it's going to be too hot to work out here. But I'd like to get it to this point right here, because after this, you see, it's a lot more native, you know. But up until this point in here is the last of the ugliness, in my opinion. But you'll see more of that coming soon. So there we are. Talk to you soon. Okay, you know, surprised nobody's asked me about this stupid lawnmower out here. Like, you can see, it's like, this is a 30-acre field, maybe 40 acres. It's hard to gauge. I haven't measured it. I haven't bothered to approximate it. So why the hell do I have a small mower out here? And the rationale for that is that is ticks. In taller grass, the ticks tend to wait higher up to grasp onto you, and they actually really hook onto you really quite easily. And they fall off of, typically they kind of come off of mice and stuff, and then they try to get higher up and they hook onto deer and whatever else. So by keeping the grass lower, not only are you keeping the moisture content lower in the ground, which mites and ticks need, you're also slowing the possibility of them hooking onto you. And I do actually keep my my shoes treated with permethrin. I don't know, I mispronounce that all the time as well. But always curious what that is. I don't recognize it offhand. 4-leaf flower. Very interesting looking leaf. I've seen them elsewhere. Never took the time to identify them. Anyway, that's the idea. Just try to make sure that when I'm working out here, I'm prepared for ticks and trying to take care of myself. So there you go. Everything I do has got a reason. I've thought it all out, except for the things I haven't thought about, and I'll think about those later. Okie dokie. That's all I got today, at least for now. See ya. Bye. Starting to wonder if I can move that stone. If I could move that stone, we should make a Stonehenge out here. We got this one and this one that are about the same size, and a few more in here. might be too big. But they kind of look like fun, you know. Got this one and this one. A couple more in here. This is what I cleaned up a little bit today. Look at that stone and that one. Whew. Telling you, Stonehenge. There's more. You can't even see them yet. I mean, they're buried in this bramble mess. But if you were to peek over it, you'd see that there's a bunch more. I mean, maybe this will be my Stonehenge, but kind of fun to make a big Stonehenge circle or something. I don't know why. I'm just a goofy kid. It's good there. Crazy part is here's ground level, and that actually goes down a little ways. You can almost bet there's stuff living in these holes. I would. And look at that thing. Well, not if I would, but could. Huh. You can't see it. I just stepped through a spider web with a whole big bunch of baby spiders on it. See that? No, can't. Well, I've probably got spiders all over me now. They're kind of whitish looking, very small. You know, it's probably something very, very poisonous. I've not. Well, I've had a pretty good day. I shouldn't complain. The well is done, or not done. They'll come back next week and they'll put the pump in, and we'll do some testing on the water. And that'll actually help us decide what kind of pump we want. We're leaning towards this kind that's a constant pressure. Look at that. You see that? I tell you, you can almost just not see these things sometimes. A couple more here. Okay. The hell's been pooping in my yard? Get out of my yard! Getting to be an old man, that's all. It's a joke. There are way more flowers than you can shake your fist at down here. Okie doke.